I'm Kanchana Kalpawila. I work as a freelance fashion designer. I've been in fashion for the past 20 years. But I got into mainstream as a fashion designer after launching my own label, Katie Brown, in 2007. Because actually I got into fashion after winning this competition organized by the Lions Club of Cinnamon Garden, which happened 20 years ago. I knew I wanted to do fashion, but at that time there were no fashion schools, there was no web, there was no internet, nothing. So we were basically self-taught, and as an adult, as a mature person, I went to fashion school, which was in 2004. But I think that's what changed the whole perspective of fashion and how we perceive what style and what fashion is. So I think it's very important to whoever is selecting any creative field to have a proper foundation, to have a grounding, because then only you can break the rules and do new things. First thing is, I think, is passion. You need to have a passion for whatever you do. That's the most important thing, because it is a very, very tiring, time-consuming profession. You don't come at 8 o'clock, you can't go back at 5, and it's your life. So you need to have a passion for it. That's the first thing. And I think today with the internet, I mean, the world is such a small place, and itself studying is so much easier. And I think even Moratua now they're into a few years of fashion with their degree in fashion studies. So they have a fair bit of books and literature available. So you have to keep yourself updating yourself all the time. That I think is the most important thing, and also to know what else is happening in the world. Because otherwise you're in your own world and you think you're doing great. In Sri Lanka, what I find the most difficult thing is, because there's so much less competition, it's very easy to get self-satisfied and think, oh, I have achieved it all. But I think you have to always compare yourself with somebody else in the world out there. Because you're here because maybe you're not good enough to reach out to that position, that audience yet. I think Tenwara, when we did the documentary, sometimes we said you have to feel your roots. I really think that is very true. You have to feel your roots. Because whatever I have worked so far, I've worked with all that is Sri Lankan. Everything, my inspiration, the weavers, the designs, the shapes, everything is purely Sri Lankan. And there's much of it happening right now. It happens, but in a very small social circle. But I think there's to go to a wider area, approach a wider audience, be open to a wider audience. I think that will be very, because everybody feeds off the other. That's how these things develop, and that's why the West is what it is. Because everybody, I mean, earlier on in France, how all the artists and architects and that, everybody sort of basically lived together, grew up and hang out together. So that's what enriched all their creations from that point. So I think that's very, very important. But here, unfortunately, it doesn't happen so much. But hopefully, fashion is a new thing, contemporary art is a new thing here. All these things, so hopefully it will move forward. මම දැන් කලාවට සම්බන්ධ දෙයක් කරනකොට ලංකාවේ මේ සම්ප්‍රදායික හිතන විදිහ අනුව උගක් දෙනෙක් කැමති නැහැ ළමයි කලාවට යොමු වෙනවට. ආටිස්ට් කෙනෙක් වෙනවට, ඩිසයිනර් කෙනෙක් වෙනවට, මියුසිෂියන් කෙනෙක් වෙනවට ඒක හරි අඩුයි. දැන් මම හිතන්නේ මේ සුපර්ස්ටාර් වම වෙන එක පොඩ්ඩක් වෙනස් වෙගෙන යනවා ඇති කියලා මම හිතනවා. ඊට වැඩිය දැන් ආටිස්ට් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න හරි ඩිසයිනර් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න හරි මම හිතන්නේ වැඩියෙන්ම අවශ්‍ය තිබිය යුතුම දේ තමයි තමන් තුළ තියෙන ආශාව එක. තමන්ට ඒක කරන්න ඕනේ තියෙන උවමනාව. මම යුනිවර්සිටි එකේ උගන්වනකොට මට හුඟක් හම්බෙන දේවල් තමයි ළමයි 45 දෙනෙක් හිටියොත් 44 දෙනෙක් ඒ ඩිග්‍රී එකේ ඉන්නේ යුනිවර්සිටි ඩිග්‍රී එකක් ඕනේ. නැතුව ඩිසයිනර් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න ඕනේ විලාසිතා කරා ඒකින්ද නෙමෙයි ආටිස්ට් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න ඕනින්ද නෙමෙයි. ඒක හරි අඩුයි මම හිතන්නේ දැන් ලෝකේ වෙනස් වීමත් එක්ක ඒක වෙනස් වෙගෙන යන්න ඕනේ. හැබැයි තමන් තුළ තියෙන්න ඕනේ තමන්ට ඒකේ ආශාව, තමන්ට තියෙන්න ඕනේ ඒ ගැන උනන්දුව. ඒක නැතුව මම හිතන්නේ කොච්චර ඇති වෙන්න පුළුවන් එක කලෙක්ෂන් එකක් කරලා 10 ඇඳුම් 6ක් කරලා පත්තරේ නම ගිහින් එහෙම වෙන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි මේ දිගටම පවත්වා ගන්න යන්න අමාරුයි Taman තුල ඒකට උනන්දුවක් තිබෙන්නේ නැත්නම්. අතන ලොකුම දේ ඕනම කලාවක් කරනවා නම් ලොකුම දේ උනන්දුවයි අලුත් දෙයක් කිරීමට තියෙන ආශාවයි අලුත් දෙයක් ඉගෙනීමට තියෙන ආශාවයි මිනිස්සුන්ට අලුත් දෙයක් දෙන්න තියෙන ආශාවයි. අලුත් දෙයක් ප්‍රෙසන්ට් කරන්න තියෙන ආශාවයි. ඒක තමයි මම හිතන්නේ ගොඩාක්ම වැදගත් දෙයක්.